So I'd just like to introduce Doug Anderson and Walter Chieng from Saint Kentigern College in New Zealand. So Doug, we'll start with you. Just come up here. Walter, you might as well join him up here as well, if you like. We'll just do a quick question. So Doug, tell us your story about how this all began.
Well, first of all, I really want to say that when I think back to the little Year 11 boy in my class all those years ago, I'm amazed at where it is now. So I just want to say to Craig, St. Kentigern's is incredibly proud of you. I'm proud of you. You are loyal. You are affectionate in the sense that you always acknowledge, you always include, and well, you know, I just want to say that you're one of my brightest and best, and I hope that we have a long association. So, thank you. But to the basics. We are a laptop school, and there was a big pressure from the headmaster to say, all these kids have paid $3,000 for a laptop, and departments aren't using it enough. So we thought we'd better do something about it in our languages department. So in our mid-year exams, we had our mid-year exams, and after the exams, I said, okay, well, we're going to have a week out. So I'm not going to teach this week. You are going to use your laptops, and I want you all to create a game or some sort of activity which you could use to teach somebody else some Japanese, either grammar or culture or whatever. So the week went by, and they all presented their little programs, and Craig's was easily the best and the most enthusiastic. So I said to him, well, this is great, so why don't you put it on everybody else's computer, which he did, and the next thing I said to him, well, you know, you're in a French class, and this is working really well in Japanese, so I'll talk to your French teacher and get her to put it on all your French students, or your French classmates' computers as well. And I guess the rest is history. So.
Well, thank you very much. Wow. It just sort of brings that analogy, you know, every waterfall starts with a single drop, and here tonight is that single drop. So thank you very much, Doug. And also we have Mr. Walter Chieng, the ICT manager at Saint Kentigern. Walter has been an instrumental figure in the history of Language Perfect. He's always there on the end of the line if we've got any questions. He's very calm. He's very patient. He's always very reserved when we're screaming it down the line at him. Walter, what do we do in this situation? He's like, don't worry, guys. It's okay. Take a deep breath. Especially Craig and myself, who tend to get quite enthusiastic. But Walter, let's hear from you, sort of some of your fondest memories of Craig and how this all began.
I probably got all my patience from teaching Craig. His hairstyle was never like this when he was at school. When he left school, everything went haywire. In fact, the Australian Customs Smart Gate system rejected him yesterday, and he had to go through the manual process. I have a lot of fond memories of the Smith brothers. They were students who were dying to learn more. They have a thirst for learning. They care. They want to excel. And they're dedicated, and they will go a long way to do anything that they think will be beneficial for themselves and others as well. I had the privilege of having them in my Cisco Academy class, which was run after school. And it's funny that we have 3 St. Ken students here as part of the team, Craig, Shane, and Billy, who joined them, right? And they were some outstanding students that we had. But it's been great to see the company grow and to see Craig and the way he's influenced the team. The team is a reflection of Craig and Scott. The enthusiasm is just amazing. I learned a lot from them too. One of the privilege that we have as educators, and I was an educator, I suppose, in my past life. I don't do much of that anymore. But we learn from our kids. We watch them and we learn from them. And I continue to learn from them, and I learn from them in another way. I thought I'll just pull out his report and perhaps say a few things about him. But I didn't actually go and look at his report, but I did write some notes about who Craig is. And I think these sort of things, sort of represent who Craig was, and not much has changed. He has a thirst for learning. He thrives for excellence. He's determined to succeed. He has a desire to make a difference. So a lot hasn't changed. But the great thing that we see now is that he is now an agent of change in the education business. And he has empowered so many of us, including the audience here today, who are not only just customers, who are not only the people who use his product, but also ambassadors of Craig and Language Perfect. So I applaud him for the energy he's put into this, and I really, really appreciate the association and the time that we chat about all sorts of things. And Scott is always at the other end of the line too, and I know the feedback tonight so far has been tremendous in terms of who you are. You are indeed a Language Perfect family, all 400 people in here, I believe. Thank you.
If I could just also say that while the world champs and all the competitions are great, what we as New Zealand language teachers have found that in our NCA exams, and our NCA is a standard-based assessment exams, which I think maybe you have similar things here in Australia. We have external and internal assessments, and I know from being involved in internal moderation and external exam setting and marking that over the years since Language Perfect has been in our New Zealand schools, the standard of student achievement has risen. I'm not saying all because of Language Perfect, but certainly the skills of reading comprehension, writing, listening, and speaking have increased. And Language Perfect, I am convinced, has been a factor in achieving that.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.